Hey y'all, I'm going to share with you my little quarantine sort of like skillet breakfast that I've been making every morning. This time I kind of switched it up, so instead of regular potatoes I am using sweet potato, and I like to kind of make this as colorful as I can by using anything that I have in the refrigerator. And so I have some sweet potato, some sweet red bell pepper, some onion, green onion, and this is frozen, and this is what I had on hand. I didn't have a fresh green bell pepper, but you can use that. I have turkey sausage, some black pepper, all-purpose seasoning, parsley, garlic. You can use fresh garlic, but this is what I have. And then 2 eggs. And then I also throw in a little bit of spinach and using some coconut oil to kind of fry this up. And this can also be made for brunch. Okay, so I let my oil heat up, and now I'm gonna add in my plate of vegetables. And of course, I can't do it with one hand, but there you go. I typically do this on a pretty low heat, so that way I'm not cooking it too fast and burning up my vegetables. I added all my vegetables to my pan, and I have my coconut oil in there. And I'm going to cook this until the potato is soft. Mainly I'm just concerned about the cooking of the potato and not the other vegetables. Obviously they'll cook along with it, but I'm going to cook it down until it gets soft. But also too, until it adds that little bit of char that it normally does when you cook in a cast iron skillet, or you just kind of cook your vegetables down with very little oil. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, and I'll show you that later. Okay, so I've added my turkey sausage and garlic. So I'm at the point right now where I'm going to add my seasonings and my spinach. So just kind of my pepper and mix this up, and then I'm gonna add my spinach in here. So I have some baby spinach. Whoops. Then let this kind of cook down, and I'll show you what I'll do after that. So I broke my egg trying to do it really quick because this is my first time actually doing this particular meal in a cast iron skillet. So I just have to realize that I have to work quick. And I turned the heat down a little bit so it gives the eggs a chance to cook without burning. And so my spinach, I didn't too much move it around. I'm just going to let it sit on top and cook, but I'm going to top it with some little bit of pepper and some parsley, and then I'm going to put on a little bit of, which is just the all-purpose seasoning, and I'm going to let, this is going to cook until the eggs are done, and then I'll show you what happens after that. So I am done. I hate that I bust that yolk, but anyways, this is what the final looks like. You can top it with some Parmesan cheese, whatever you like. Get you a piece of toast, some bread. But again, it's very, very easy meal that you can use whatever that you have in your refrigerator to put this meal together. And you can even not even do the eggs. But I am going to eat it straight out of this skillet. So top it with some hot sauce, and we are good to go. So this is a little bonus video and how to properly wash your cast iron skillet. There's a misconception that you use soap and water like you do regular dishes to wash your cast iron skillet, but no, that is not the case. Please do not wash your cast iron skillets in soap and water. The detergent ruins the protective coating that keeps your food from sticking. So I'm going to show you really quick how to wash a cast iron skillet. And even with tough stuck-on messes that, say for instance, you made some steaks or burgers or whatever the case may be, you just get a little bit of coarse salt and some baking soda, and you go on the inside of the pan all over, and it should lift it up, any stuck on messes up out of the pan if you properly care and store your cast iron skillet. So it should be very easy. That's why I like Lodge, because of this sort of like matte black coating. And then kind of get you a little brush. You can do that, get your little scrub brush to help kind of clean on the inside. So just use some hot water. So get you some hot water. And take your hot water and scrub the inside of your pan. And again, that soap and detergent ruins what they call the seasoning on top of your cast iron skillet. So kind of really creates a sticky mess when you cook your meals. So it should be fairly easy. And if you kind of look and see, I'm getting the stuck on messes off. So all you have to do is just keep scrubbing it off. And it's fine. I mean, you're just cooking your food in here. And the heat sort of like does a disinfectant. And if you really, you know, kind of leery about, you know, not using soap and water, what you can do is, after you have washed it off, take your cast iron, stick it in the oven on 350 degrees, and take it out and then oil up your pan. So I'll show you how to oil it up next. Okay, so don't do your cast iron skillet like you would your other dishes by just rinsing them off and kind of putting them on a rack to dry. It will rust. So you got to make sure that it's properly dry before you begin to oil it, or the oiling process. I use canola oil. You can use a spray. To me, this is inexpensive. Everyone should have some type of oil or vegetable oil in their pantry. So I'll just take a little bit. You don't need a lot of oil, just a little bit. And then I have a little brush, and then I kind of just go all over my pan, my cast iron, with some oil. And don't forget the rim. So this is kind of bringing it back to life again after washing it and getting that stuck on mess. There's a lot of YouTube videos that are out there about how to care for a cast iron skillet. So if you are not too confident, just go ahead and pull up one of those videos. But I find this method is very easy for me. And again, if you care really well for your cast iron skillet initially, the stuck on messes tend to be a little bit easier when you use it. And it just makes fried chicken taste so good. So that's why I like to use cast iron skillets for a lot of things. And it is way healthier for you. So either you're using stainless steel or cast iron to cook a lot of your meals, you don't get all of the toxins that normally end up in your food. So that's why I like to use cast iron or any type of stainless steel to cook with, because again, what you cook in your pot, it normally, you can consume it in your food. So if your Teflon starts to kind of wear off, throw those pans away. It is not good for your health. Alrighty, and that's my cast iron skillet. After I oil it, I let it kind of sit up here for maybe a day or so, or a little bit until the afternoon before I put it away, just so that way I can kind of marinate that oil on top of that pan. And we're done.